Welcome back to The Explainer. All right, let's just jump right into this, because today we are breaking down Reborn in the Ice. This is an absolutely brutal, time-traveling, post-apocalyptic story that literally takes the survival genre and turns it completely on its head. We're looking at a world plunged into a sudden, totally unforgiving ice age. But as you'll see, the weather isn't even close to being the most dangerous thing out there. This is a story of ultimate betrayal, explosive supernatural abilities, and a protagonist who transforms from a completely helpless victim into an absolute apex predator. So, picture this. Our main character, Lin Mo, risks his life to find a simple bar of chocolate in a freezing, starving world. He brings it home to his girlfriend, only to be totally betrayed. She and her new lover, Luo Dong, brutally beat Lin Mo to death with a baseball bat. It's awful. But instead of dying, Lin Mo feels this strange, tingling sensation, and suddenly, he wakes up. He looks out the window completely unharmed. It is exactly 24 hours before the catastrophe hits. He's been given a second chance. And let me tell you, this time, he's not going to play the nice guy. You know what's crazy? Lin Mo doesn't even panic. He just plans. With exactly 24 hours on the clock, he immediately dumps his treacherous girlfriend over the phone and starts a frantic sprint to gear up. He knows that within just hours, the snow is going to completely bury the city and society will just collapse. So he uses his future knowledge to stockpile essential supplies, hoarding high-calorie food at the local supermarket and locking down his apartment. I mean, he is moving with this terrifying efficiency while everyone else around him is completely clueless. Now, here is where it gets really insane. Lin Mo realizes he actually brought something back with him from the future: supernatural powers. During his frantic prep, he has a run-in with a really nervous police officer who fires a gun at him point blank. But instead of getting hit, Lin Mo's eyes glow with these electrical blue streaks. Time basically slows down. He simply moves his head to dodge the bullet and then rushes forward in a total blur, catching the casing in his bare hand. His body is literally absorbing the ambient thermal heat around him, dropping the local temperature and converting that heat into massive kinetic energy and supersonic speed. Then the countdown hits 0. The global freeze officially begins. In a matter of moments, the temperature in Brooklyn plummets to a staggering minus 29 degrees Celsius. The city is instantly plunged into utter chaos. Alarms are blaring everywhere, people are literally freezing inside their own homes, and the entire infrastructure just collapses. The apocalypse you remembered? Yeah, it's right on schedule. But wait, the cold isn't the only threat out there. The drop in temperature brings out the true nightmare of this new world: the white armors, or as they're also known, husks. These are mutated, pale-skinned, cannibalistic monsters. They are basically empty shells of humans, completely bound by whatever obsessions they had in their past lives. Lin Mo encounters one right in his building's boiler room. It's this terrifying creature just ripping people apart while constantly murmuring about severed fingers. But here's the catch. And it's a big one. These powers come with a massive, life-threatening drawback. Imagine having to literally freeze your own organs just to throw a punch. By absorbing heat to use his kinetic powers against the white armors, Lin Mo is rapidly draining his own body heat. After one really intense fight, his internal temperature drops to 11.5 degrees Celsius. That is a level that should be instantly fatal. He passes out, but is miraculously saved by this brilliantly blunt, chain-smoking underground physician known only as Dr. Joe. She manages to stabilize him, realizing his body is basically an unprecedented medical marvel. Once Lin Mo recovers, he doesn't go hide. He goes straight on the offensive. He tracks down Lo Dong, the exact guy who beat him to death in the previous timeline. Now, the old Lin Mo would have cowered, but this awakened Lin Mo, he is completely ruthless. He confronts Lo Dong, easily dodging bullets with his supersonic speed, kicks the guy's leg entirely off, and then uses his powers to literally burn him alive before tossing his remains to the white armors. It is dark, it's calculated, and it is total, complete vengeance. In this frozen world, I am the hunter now. I mean, what a line, right? This is the exact moment Lin Mo officially sheds his past. He realizes that in this frozen wasteland, playing the victim guarantees you die. He fully accepts his overpowered abilities and this merciless new persona. He isn't just trying to survive the apocalypse anymore, he is dominating it. He has officially become the apex predator. All right, moving into part 1, Parasites and New Allies, where this sci-fi mystery really unfolds. Because, how exactly did Lin Mo get these powers in the first place? The answer to that totally changes the scope of the story, taking it from a simple revenge plot into a massive mystery involving dimensional entities and some very unlikely alliances. So Lin Mo discovers that an interdimensional parasite entity is actually living inside of him. It manifests right in his mind, revealing that it fused with him the exact moment he died in the previous timeline. This parasite is the true source of his thermal absorption and kinetic acceleration. Because it travels between dimensions, it reset his timeline just to save itself. But there is a massive catch here. This fusion makes Lin Mo a high-value target for literally every white armor husk in the entire city.
And yeah, they definitely don't wait long to attack. The white armors begin swarming Lin Mo's apartment building, absorbing the fallen residents and merging them together into this grotesque, pulsating thing called a blood nest. It's an evolving biological nightmare. During all this chaos, Lin Mo is forced to team up with a blonde survivor named Kurt Corbin. This guy is wild. He uses rock music, a guitar, and Molotov cocktails to suppress and trap the monsters.
As the blood nest threatens to just consume the entire building, Dr. Joe realizes Lin Mo isn't strong enough in his current state to stop it. So she takes a massive gamble. She actually forces Lin Mo to assimilate a biological core harvested from a mutated white armor. It is a brutal, agonizing process, but it works. It unlocks Lin Mo's red limit state. It's this monstrous, highly efficient form that gives him terrifying, explosive power, demonic horns, and this awesome glowing red energy. Just as Lin Mo secures his building, we hit Part 2, Clash with the Cult. An entirely new faction enters the fray, escalating the story's stakes to a whole new level, and giving us one of the absolute most cinematic clashes of the entire series. Enter the Society of Prophets. They are this dark, fanatical cult operating in the shadows, and they actually believe the freeze is divine judgment upon the world. They utilize powerful superhumans known as espers, and these devastating biological weapons called holy children. And wouldn't you know it, one of these holy children, a massive giant-eyed mutant capable of manipulating gravity, has just arrived to rip Lin Mo's building apart. What follows is just a rapid-fire, insanely cinematic clash between Lin Mo and his red limit armor and the Holy Child. It's a brilliant elemental showdown. You've got Lin Mo fighting using raw kinetic repulsion and thermal energy, while the Holy Child is literally ripping apart buildings and throwing massive boulders by controlling gravitational attraction. It is the classic unstoppable force versus an immovable object. And this fight completely proves Lin Mo's sheer battle IQ. He realizes he can't win with brute force alone, so he does the unthinkable. He intentionally allows the monster to pull him in, using its gravitational attraction. He uses the enemy's own gravity well as an acceleration zone. He slingshots himself forward, combining the pull of gravity with his own supersonic speed to deliver a devastating, explosive strike that shatters the monster completely. So the monster is defeated, but as we enter Part 3, the highway ambush, you quickly realize that in this frozen wasteland, survival is absolutely never guaranteed, and the real enemy is often standing right next to you. All right, brace yourselves for the ultimate, heartbreaking twist. Remember Kurt Corbin, the fun guitar-playing ally who fought side by side with Lin Mo? Yeah, he was a sleeper agent the entire time. Corbin was brainwashed by a government faction called the National Intelligence Bureau. Once the battle ends, another NIB esper named Zion White just activates Corbin's sleeper programming. In a split second, the friend Lin Mo trusted turns on him, revealing that capturing Lin Mo, who they call Subject Zero, was their mission all along. The betrayal is just absolute. While Lin Mo is completely exhausted from his fight, Corbin and Zion White inject him with a massive dose of insulin. Now, this scientifically suppresses Lin Mo's ability to convert thermal heat, completely neutralizing his powers. The invincible hunter is rendered totally helpless. He's bound, drugged, and loaded into the back of a heavily armored military transport truck bound for a government bunker. But you know we couldn't leave you without one last massive cliffhanger. Just as the military transport speeds down the frozen highway, the Society of Prophets makes their move. Jinyu, a high-level esper from the cult riding a motorcycle, violently ambushes the NIB truck with explosive firepower, flipping the entire transport over. Lin Mo is trapped inside, completely powerless, caught right in the middle of a war between a heavily armed government faction and a fanatical superhuman cult. How on earth does he survive this? Well, that's exactly what makes this explainer so impossible to put down. What do you think happens next?